Hello and welcome to the December 7th episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Samantha Niskern.
And I'm Dan Wohler. This weekend, Sam and I had the chance to witness the performance of Venable 8, 3 Lessons on Gun Violence. And we also caught up with the co-president of Dance Co., Rachel Mills, on her last semester and performance with the club.
And to get everyone in the holiday spirit, we'll take a look at a special donation to the Town Hall in Adams, Massachusetts.
Stay with us. This past weekend saw the return of Venable 8, 3 Lessons on Gun Violence, with shows at the North Adams Armory, Mass MoCA, and Venable Hall. Senior English Communications major Phil Shedd directed Venable 8, 3 Lessons on Gun Violence, and he explained why the show was unfortunately so relevant and why theater is a great medium to open up conversation.
3 days ago, there was another shooting at Ohio State. They're happening all the time, and the point of this show is, well, because they're happening all the time. You see a shooting, and you change the channel, and you're like, well, there's another shooting. And we're trying to use theater as a platform for change, to be able to say, like, hey, like, it's another shooting, like, you should be aware of this. Try and get people to look at it in a new light, a new angle, and create a space where people can have a dialogue about it. Because so frequently it's just something that people pass over, and people don't really just sit down and talk about this issue of this epidemic of gun violence in America.
Jess Sweeney, the creative director of Common Folk Artist Collective, described how she was introduced to the concept of Venable 8 and why she was so passionate about it.
Years later, a friend of mine, Ben Balon, who's the author of A Child's Game, took that same directing class, and he produced Venable 8, 3 Lessons on Gun Violence, and I came to it and I was so moved. I just was like, this is it. This is why I am so passionate about theater, you know? Like, you can pull your audience into a place, into an experience, and then, like, recreate something that I think a lot of theater doesn't really tend to push.
Sweeney expressed how the purpose of the show is to create conversation around the topic of gun violence, a topic that many people are desensitized to.
That conversation. It's really, for me, about creating a safe environment to have a very difficult conversation, and making sure that everyone's ready to come together around those things, because unfortunately this topic is all too prevalent, but also very, like, numbing. We see it all the time. It's kind of like, at this point, oh, another shooting.
Sweeney and Shedd were able to receive a grant from the Northern Berkshire Community Cultural Council, allowing them to showcase the performance throughout the city of North Adams, including a show at Mass MoCA.
And it's been huge being able to say that we have a grant, because it has gotten us into places that we never would have even dreamed getting into, such as Mass MoCA. Having MCLA students and alumni be able to say that they produced a show at Mass MoCA is huge, not just for the school, but for the arts community as a whole.
Being right there inside that classroom in Venable Hall during the performance completely changed the experience of that show.
Also this past weekend was another student-run performance, Dance Co's Fall Show. This past weekend, Dance Co had their Fall 2016 performance. Upwards of 60-plus dancers performed a variety of genres such as ballet, tap, and hip-hop. Co-president Rachel Mills weighed in on her role as a leader of Dance Co and what that responsibility meant to her.
At the beginning of the semester, E-Board and I kind of just sat down, and specifically Taylor Jackson and I, the other co-president, just came together last semester and just talked, like, what are our goals, what are our missions that we want to complete throughout the course of this semester. So we went through that. Of course, there were a lot of community service we just listed off, fundraising events that we wanted to do. So throughout the course of the semester, we really just applied them, and thank God we had a wonderful e-board. So everyone really knew their positions well and executed the job really well, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out.
Mills, who is graduating this fall with a degree in psychology, talked about her passion for the club and the emotions that came with completing her final show.
It's actually really sad. It was unfortunate that this semester was of course my last semester here was the one that I really engaged with Dance Co. Of course it was the first time I was on the e-board, so I ended up knowing everyone's name, some details about everyone in the club, and of course you both know it's like 60 to 70 people every semester. So it was really exciting just getting to know everyone, getting to know what they're like, what their outside interests are, incorporating that into either community service events or fundraising events.
Mills highlighted the variety of Dance Co., both with the dances themselves and the actual dancers who brought the show to life.
Just kind of looking at the whole entire show, this show and past shows, it's just awesome to watch all of the different kinds of dances. I don't think I could ever pick a favorite. It's just such a variety, and that's the best thing about Dance Company because it is an all-inclusive club, so you have different kinds of people, science majors, math majors, psychology, social sciences, just English. You never know who's going to join Dance Company because it's just all of us different kinds of people coming together through the expression of dance.
The performance was exciting throughout, which makes sense considering the show was packed each night.
And now for that special Christmas donation generously given by local bar owner Dan Paciorek. Dan Paciorek has been the owner of the Grille in Adams, Massachusetts since 1976, and since 1986 he's been amassing a Christmas Village collection now valued at more than $15,000. After running out of space at the Grille, Paciorek knew he needed to donate the collection somewhere and chose the town of Adams. For the past 5 years, the Christmas Village has been featured in Adams Town Hall.
Paciorek described how he was first introduced to the idea of a Christmas Village.
When I was a kid, I always wanted a train set, but never got one. So I missed out on that, and then this lady next door, we used to live on Richmond Street in Adams, she had a Christmas Village that she had set up on shelves and everything, and I looked at it and says, oh my God, that's novel.
Vice Chair of the Adams Board of Selectmen, Skip Harrington, helps construct the vast village every year and donated the tables it's featured on. He explained why all of his hard work is worth it.
But just to be here and listen to the kids and the parents, their imaginations, running around and saying, boy, I'd like to live in this house. And, you know, I think this is, I like that. I think that's cool. I like the lighthouses. Those are really cool, you know. And it was just really, you know, everybody behaved themselves. Nobody took anything or broke, of course their parents were with them, but you know, that really, like Dan said, it really makes it worthwhile when you see kids and adults enjoying it so much.
Paciorek described his favorite part about assembling the collection.
They bring the kids over as a field trip. And I'll tell you, when people tell me, boy, oh boy, how much the kids love it in their eyes, you know, it makes it all worth it, you know? The labor, I don't even think about the labor anymore.
Administrative Assistant Deb Dunlap is the one responsible for moving the village to its current location from the main foyer, where it was difficult to install and view. Dunlap spoke on how she found the perfect space for the village to be featured.
You know, there's got to be an alternate solution here, so I took a look at this room and I said, you know, we could use this entire space and put it on one level and make it easier on everybody. So that idea just kind of spawned, and between us we put it together.
With its new home within Town Hall, many more people are able to view the village and spread the word about it, making everything that much more meaningful for Paciorek.
But this is the best it's ever looked, ever, by far. And so when she says she's a small part, no, if it wasn't for this, this is beautiful. And people are really talking about it, and that makes it all worthwhile. That makes me come back next year or whatever, you know. Hopefully we can keep it all year long and then put something over it so we can, you know, don't have to put it up every year.
What a gorgeous Christmas village that was in Adams, Sam. And it's funny, back in 1986, Dan bought 20 pieces right off the bat, and every year since then he's been back to buy 10 more pieces.
Absolutely, Dan. The video doesn't even do it any justice. And to help with stress from finals, there will be a therapy dog in the marketplace from noon to 2 p.m. today, hosted by the Wellness Center.
And a blood drive will take place tomorrow, December 8th at 11 a.m. in Venable Gym, hosted by the Student Activities Council. Walk-ins are welcome, and make sure you bring a valid photo ID.
And late night breakfast will take place next Monday, December 12th in the Centennial Room starting at 9 p.m.
And good luck to everyone out there as we approach finals week. And remember, if you live on campus, you must check out with RPS by 7 p.m. on Monday, December 19th.
And are you interested in joining Beacon Web News for the spring semester? We're looking for motivated and talented students to join Dan and I as writers, editors, reporters, and videographers. If so, send us an email via Outlook.
And thank you again so much for joining Beacon Web News throughout our journey this semester. We hope you have a wonderful winter break and happy holidays.